Good morning, fellow Ambazonians. Happy Independence Day. Today, na 1st of October 2023. Na the day we Ambazonians at home and abroad, they celebrate rightfully so their independence, wey be happen for 1961. Independence from England, independence from the trusteeship system to become a country. And how this happen and wait to this one them in mean it can be an upside down hill. Ambazonian them now one of the things this way it can define our future even when we don't know. So today I go attempt for through this my podcast, as soon as I know my podcast it be focused for not only for educate and inform our people them, but for fight the emancipation campaign and for establish truthfulness, because I believe in my heart not only the truth shall set us free. My name na Capo Daniel, Sense Past King, Mr. No Connie. Una be welcome for this our daily podcast. Na program where it bring the truth, it bring only meaningful information them as we do work out for this journey, or wait they call them say struggle for independence for Ambazonia. All man for abroad at home, for refugee camp and for IDP camps una welcome. I go try for make this podcast, make it be very short, but it be very, very important because it get the aspect of our history in the light of Ambazonian diplomacy. Me, una own pikin, Capo Daniel, where I don't represent our country, our struggle at the highest level. I get the privilege today for transfer for una. They encounter them and they opinion them for the various international partner them about this issue. The Ambazonian liberation struggle, now a struggle where it get a lot of things and way would do where it not be compatible with international law and the law them for the African Union. That means something and they would do where it not correct for the law them for African Union and the one them for United Nations. And these things them it lead for the international community them that they get the wrong conclusion about our struggle. They need to understand we very, very well. And I hope say our people then go realize this one and it go impact the way we would do things them as we go before. For this our struggle, the mindset na say we are not a part of La Republic. Cameroon never ever be part of Ambazonia. So make Cameroon then go with their one Cameroon, we be one and indivisible. Make we for Ambazonia will keep our own one and indivisible Ambazonia. This idea it become about as a result of Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga leadership. Dr. Ebenezer Akwanga, he be been at the first youth them where they be come out since the creation of the SCNC for 1995. And in manifesto, as the leader of the SCYL, the Southern Cameroon Youth League, he be expound and he be bring a new ideology where it no be that ever be for our territory. Say we as a people of Southern Cameroon, we have never been a part of La République du Cameroon. This it be seen as a very radical stand and it will bring a lot of problem with the people the way they be there for SCNC. The leadership for the SCNC, they be decide for call the SCYL, say na just youth group. That means say na thing for picking them. Where they get anger, then they be even describe the say na small picking collapse. So the SCYL nevertheless, it will grow with this ideology, say we'll be an independent country, will never ever be part of La République du Cameroon, and so we'll get the right for fight La République because Cameroon na an army of occupation. Cameroon no get no right for day for inside Ambazonia. So we need to do everything humanly possible for fight Cameroon militarily. The SCYL it will go ahead for create the first defense group where that exists for our country, the SOCADEF, for fight against Cameroon occupation. The first general for SOCADEF will be pick up gun na park at one way there for inside Bui. They be done launch several attacks. Ayabacho it be also been a foot soldier for SOCADEF, Benedictwa, and a lot of people they will know and when are activists them today they be being a foot soldier for this particular group. The ideology it then dominate and it then finally triumph over the old ideology them. If you rewind back time, you go for the All Anglophone Conference. You go right up to the Anglophone movement, where it be there since Cameroon it be take control for our territory. Now ready wait it happen. This is what Ambazonians they need to know. According to the law, according to international law and African Union law, what is fact from myth? The first thing where you need to know na say, you know, if you celebrate Independence Day for Southern Cameroon, where you don't know what way independence it mean. Our independence it be granted according to international law, where it be stated for the United Nations Resolution 1608. Now the document that way it grants us independence. And that independent where they grant them for Ambazonia, now a conditional independent. It not be being an outright independent, they be give you conditional independent. That means they talk say independence by joining. Independence by joining. So you cannot have one without having the other. That means say if you become independent, you don't join La Republique. You become independent now by joining La Republique du Cameroon. So if Ambazonian Ibina independent, it means say we don't join La Republique, because that was a condition for our independence. I go for read all the document them where they write them for United Nations, so that make our country people them they hear them direct from my voice, and also me they hear them for pidgin. For the United Nations Resolution 1608, it get plenty subsection them. That means say as it is on the right and they get A, B, C, it go for down. For that document, the first one is starting for recalling, because the United Nations it be done debate. Plenty countries they be done put their opinion and their position them about the issue for Ambazonia and their independence. The first resolution they be passed up maybe been for March 1959, where it be concerning our territory, where it be guarantee, it be approved and semi-United Kingdom, it go organize a plebiscite under supervision of United Nations. So I go read them. It talks a recalling Resolution 1350 for March 13, 1959, concerning the future of the Trust Territory of Cameroons. Remember Cameroons with S, under the United Kingdom administration, in which the General Assembly recommended, the administering authority, it takes step them for organize a plebiscite in consultation with the United Nations Plebiscite Commissioner. That separate plebiscite should be conducted for northern Cameroons and one for southern Cameroons. That means say our territory it will be divided into two parts them. The reason why our territory will be divided for northern and southern Cameroon, now say the territory, even though it be been a trust territory, the British government now they be fight for conquer that territory, and international law it grants them certain power and certain discretion them on how that country it be led, and those powers and those discretion they be spelled out inside the trusteeship agreement. That means say like a papa, British government they be need for raise we up until we become mature before we get independence, and by so doing, the wishes of our territory were subjective to the British lead. That means say as a follower we get to follow the leadership of our master, we be at the British government. So some people they talk say, but why British government if it talk say if it reject our independence? No, the independence if it's supposed to be now as our people they be decided for Manfred conference and so conference. But we need to know say the trusteeship it give British government some discretion them. That means say papa if he decide whether Pekin will become Christian or Muslim, but it no mean say that Pekin if he grow it change his religion. So the British government they be reject the option of independence, and they be submit for the United Nations. Say they want for give now two choice for we. Then bring Cameroon, then bring our own representative. They mean they can debate for United Nations, and they be agree. Say we will get now independence by joining either Nigeria or by joining either Cameroon. So all the debate them will be happen before that time, it be irrelevant as to the law of what happened. So the plebiscite was the legal way for our people them for the war for no way to way it did for their mind, which way they want choose them. Their choice it be limited. You fit talk say it be wrong. Yes, now an injustice. Some case then there was some territory then way the British government or other government where they be get responsibility for lead them, they be ignore their own will. Even when they be adjudicated, that means they be go to a court to go win the case. The only way they be get an apology, because any man where you get will, you get right for even violate that will, you get right for become wrong. So there is no punishment or any crime for talk say the British government it be deny our independence choice. Now just for show say it be an absolute expression of which we want them, but now which we were papa then it lead we. So Pekin in talk say, hey, my papa be send me now for Catholic school instead for private school. So it be wrong. I be ready one go me now for private school. All those debate them and the will they are real, but at the end of the day, the decision lies with the authorities that be. So make our people then know. Say the United Nations it be give we a two choice for join Nigeria or for join La République du Cameroon. So after the commissioner for the plebiscite for the United Nations, if we make a submission for the United Nations they be pass that resolution 1608 where it give we independent. For that document, it get the following paragraph. Then we did for there I go read and make una hear. The first one, number one, it talks say after hearing petitioner. That means they don't hear from both sides. Jogu Foncha if you can talk for the conference, Aijo we can talk on this subject. Number the resolution where the whole war if we decide na say it in number one. They express their appreciation for that. They thank the commissioner for United Nations for plebiscite will be involved for that process. Number two, they endorse the result of the plebiscite. The result is A. The people of Northern Cameroons have, by substantial majority, decided to achieve independence by joining the independent Federal Republic of Nigeria. B. The people of the Southern Cameroons have similarly decided to achieve independence by joining the independent Republic of Cameroon. Then number three, it talks say, consider that the people of the two parts of this territory truly, having freely and sacredly expressed their wishes with regards to their respective future in accordance with the General Assembly Resolution 1352, the decision made by them through democratic process under the supervision of the United Nations should be implemented immediately. That long talk is simply talk say now na time for United Nations for implement the decision for Ambazonia for join with La République. This is how it was supposed to happen and how it is supposed to happen. Number four, it show how it's supposed to happen. It say the United Nations decides that the plebiscite haven't been taken separately with different result. The trusteeship agreement of December 1946, that means when they be create our territory, concerning the Cameroons under the United Kingdom administration shall be terminated in accordance with Article 76B of the administering authority in the following manner. So it describes how we will end our dependence on England. A, it talks about it. With respect to the Northern Cameroons, on 1st of June 1961, upon joining the Federal Republic of Nigeria as a separate province of the North region of Nigeria. That means say our northern part of our territory go become a province for inside Nigeria. With respect to the Southern Cameroon, na be the talk. On the 1st of October 1961, upon it joining La République du Cameroon, this na a separate statement where it means say Ambazonian go be independent upon it joining of La République du Cameroon. In another word, it talks say we go become independent now when we join La République du Cameroon. So the joining and the independence now one and indivisible thing according to law. Now a sacred paragraph on its own, it talks about it. Invite the administering authority, the government of the Southern Cameroon and the government of La République du Cameroon to initiate urgent discussion with a view of finalizing before 1st of October the arrangement by which they agreed and declared policies of the parties concerning will be implemented. The one that talks about it. Say the United Nations talks say before 1st of October 1961, made the British government, made the Southern Cameroon government, make the Cameroon, La République du Cameroon, their government, make them go discuss, make them go dialogue for see how they go implement the thing the way they be done already agree and the policy them. They be done already agree certain things them. Say the two territory they go form now one country where you go be now a federation. Say the two country them, no one in no go annex another one. No one go put another one like na second-class citizen. All those agreements, they be done already do 1 year before. It be done already be put under the United Nations resolutions. So the Fumban Conference, when it described and here, it will be a time for the three authorities them for Shidong for discuss how they go implement those policies. It not be mean I say they must come implement those policies them the same way they be need to discuss how they go implement those policies, because this document it no say on that 1st of October the two country them they go become one and the independence go come out from the United Kingdom. Let me say we go finish with United Kingdom, we go join with La République du Cameroon. That is the law and that is the fact of the matter. So whether or not we be get agreement for Fumban Conference, it be inconsequential on whether or not we were independent or not, and whether we join La République or not. So as a matter of law, on the 1st of October is Independent and Unity Day. Now the day where we be join La République, and now the day we be get our independence as part of La République. Did we attend any conclusion in the conference in Kumba? No, the conference in Kumba, all the thing we will be submitting for inside Kumba was rejected by Amadou Ahidjo, and the constitution where La République be done already print them impose them on a temporal basis. If you go back, you look the journalists the way they be write during those times. One French magazine where they call them Levine, it be describe the union between Cameroon, French Cameroon and English Cameroon as a marriage, describing us like the woman for that marriage and La République du Cameroon like a man picking for that marriage. And this description where it shows that one already be bigger than the other, it be stronger than the other. It be also reflect the reality of our size of our territory and our population. One, the population for Ambazonia and La République was one fifth of the population of La République. That means say Cameroon, it will be 4 times bigger than we. That means say if you put them in ratio, you get one person, you get one Ambazonian, you go get 4 La République du Cameroon citizen. And that reflection, it show we how La République they manipulate census. So if Cameroon then talks a population now 20 million, inside that 20 million, we need to divide them by 5, and then we will know the population for inside Ambazonia. So if now 20 million, that means say our population it will be close to 5 million for inside that population. One of our scholar, Professor Bernard Funlong, he will also write a publication where he describe and say it will be very wonderful for see two Pan-African them, Amadou Ahidjo and John Gufoncha, they work together. They will even describe Cameroon as African in miniature. It will be welcome, the unity will be welcome across Africa like an example of how Africa they need to go forward. The only problem where it start happen now the way we La République then try for now for assimilate we and for bring all their policy where the French government will be initiate them subsequently. As a United Nations Trust territory, we'll get 2 right them where we'll get them will be very important where nothing be violated. One, now the one where they under Article 76 for the Charter for the Trusteeship System, where it talks about it. It talks about all trusteeship system them, territory them. They must be in accordance with the purpose of the United Nations, where it be now for promote political, economic, social, educational advancement for those territory them, for make progress towards 2 things, self-governance and independence. That means we must become self-governance and then we'll become independent. These are the conditions where the trusteeship system will be made according to this, the article. It talks say we must become self-governance independent, either as a separate state or by joining a neighboring independent country. For Ambazonian case, it will be now for join an already existing independent country as the British government they be deciding and say it will be for our future. According to international law, there are 2 ways a territory can join another one or express their self-determination. One, not through a union treaty. The second one, not through an act of constitutionality. When the second one, it be true in the case of Ambazonia and La République. That means say La République du Cameroon will unite with them, not be through a union treaty. So the idea say we must get a union treaty according to the African Charter, it be wrong. They don't already adjudicate about this one because For the Banjul case, the judge it be talked clearly say the law for African Union it become after the incident already that happened. That means that they will make that law for get a union treaty after that one. But now also a strong point when we still advocate for our independence, but it not be a determining factor whether we'll be united with La Republic or not, because the union will get on La Republic now a constitutional one. The process actually it never be completed because no agreement was reached. But we will join La Republique du Cameroon with the expectation, say na an ongoing process for we for unite with them. Na ewe Melan Luchumbe, if we call him say na Njumba, no be married, that means say na Kamo stay. Because the law be that already talks, so we go join La Republique. So say we go join, why we would still make up our mind on how we want to live together. Now why that way, several attempts that day for La Republique for show the war say, indeed they don't get our consent. But each time they be call conference, it be leads to Ambazonia and they talk say no, we want a federation because of the thing that will be agreed for. The last time Paul Biya a column, Naiwe be led by Professor Carson Anyangwe for insist for bring all Ambazonians then together. May we form the All Anglophone Conference where they talk say we want not only federation, we want to preserve our uniqueness just as it was promised to us in the policies that were agreed in the United Nations. Knowing this fact, does it take away anything from us? No. It actually strengthens us. Why? Because when would they go to talk say will not be ever be part of Cameroon, will not be a part of Cameroon, would they become seen as outlaws? We are walking out of the law of the United Nations and African Union. Now, why that way, no matter which way they talk, so long as we insist on this outlawed position, the world they see us like creating a new country. That is why you go for United Nations, you talk for other leaders, they tell we say the Ambazonian are a new country, we want to create them because our own view be based on established facts under international law. We need to know say under international law, we are part of La République du Cameroun. The union have not yet been sealed. The marriage have not yet been signed. It does not mean that it does not exist. Even for the Gojidinka, he own document the way that expatiate on, it talks that Cameroon, he withdraw from the union. Where it means that there was a union before Cameroon, it one withdraw. So we for Ambazonia, we need to know say when would the talk say will never ever be part of Cameroon, will not be part of Cameroon. Would he actually help na Paul Biya because it show the world say we are outlaw people who are not reasonable. Our struggle is not based on sound legal doctrine. Even Ayabacho in Noam and all our leaders in Noam, because Ayabacho when I be to work with them, they be appeal for one of these international organizations where they be give me the help we, me then do a research on this topic, and the result become Ayabacho be decide say go share around with our population, and I be that insist for you privately say these things it be important because no matter what you feel, when you lie, it give you a short-term benefit. But the truth, even though it be difficult, it go challenge we, but eventually it go empowered we. Because when we know the truth, we go position ourselves where we would talk, people that go to listen for we. At the end of the day, self-determination, now a very strong way to they call and say, just cogent for international law, where it means say it be binding, it be fundamental, and we always exercise our right of self-determination as the international court it get judgment where it shows so will still be regarded as one people. Now the problem is how can we exercise our right of self-determination? Many people then for the IG for Siseko own thinking tank them they be decisive for we for form a government. It will be good for the war for Siseko to represent our country. But how credible can a government be formed when the country is under occupation is very hard. For those people then like Agbobala, their approach be been as say if we get a sovereign territory or organize our territory be legally acceptable administratively, we go fit come out from federation, come then be able to present for the war a position where if it be acceptable like representing our own population. That one at the federal is their own way for do them. The hardliners their own way and say will not be part for La Republique, will not ever be part of La Republique, so we no want anything for do them with La Republique du Cameroon. Now for judge, make our own judgment for know where to be right and where to be not be right. As for me, why they represent the Ambazonian People's Right Advocative Platform, I they advocate now for an autonomy, because that autonomy it be supported by the international community and I be the main thing where the international community they engage based on. If this particular ideology it be dominated by our struggle, then it will get the right support for push Paul Biya for way they no go fit deny him. After all, the Americans said Biya already come up for push the Cameroon government for autonomy. So for me, now the most attainable option this. But without much ado, our population, they need to be educated for know way to way it be right and way to way it be wrong. Ambazonia, as an independent country, is aspirational. It is not yet reality. And for those that are already considered and say now a reality would already be independent, we feel to go about for do our business as an independent country, make we know say the international law in it work as such. If we really want to attain independent, we need to follow the rule-based system the way they, especially we as Africans. Because now only through those way the international community will be forced, the hand will be forced to implement way to way it be binding on them as well. So today, as you celebrate Independence Day, you need to know the truth and know way to way independent it actually mean, and know the aspiration of our people. Say the one may go come out for the Republic, the one may go protect our identity, the one may go protect our culture, the one for regain our dignity. And in that journey to our freedom, we have all embarked. God bless you all. Capo Daniel, signing out, looking out for you.